Happy Wednesday, everybody. Meteorologist Hunter Forrest here. And even though we have a little bit over 2 weeks left of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season left, we are still tracking an area in the Caribbean right now. Now, the Caribbean continues to produce these tropical waves, which is what we saw just recently with Rafael, which made landfall in Cuba as a major Category 3 hurricane, making its way into the Gulf of Mexico, where luckily it fell apart from the wind shear and it didn't really affect any more land after that. But this one is a little bit different, which is most likely going to be Sarah heading towards the end of the week and into the weekend. This one certainly has the chance to be a threat to the United States, anywhere from Louisiana down towards the Big Bend of Florida, down towards southern Florida. So really a lot of places along the Gulf of Mexico has to continue monitoring the tropics, even though we're so close towards the end of the season. This area here in the central Caribbean has about a 90% chance of developing within the next 2 days. So a tropical depression very likely to form very soon. We'll most likely have a tropical storm as we head into the end of the week, and maybe even a hurricane as we get into the weekend. So here's the area right now in the central Caribbean. You can see these storms really starting to bubble up. It's a pretty good environment for intensification. There's a lot of warm water. Not only is there warm water on the surface, that's about 81, 82, 83 degrees, even mid 80s in some areas, but also the warm water reaches down further than just the surface. So when you have the water that's not only warm at the surface, but also deep down, that also allows these systems to get more fuel and intensify rather quickly. There's also not a lot of wind shear in this area as well, which is also another major factor of to why this system could really develop very quickly. Here's the model comparisons. We have the European model here in red, and you'll see the American model here in yellow. So over the next couple of days, we'll see Sarah, which is the next name on the list, form as we head into the end of the week and into the weekend, most likely as a hurricane. But you'll see it doesn't go very far. This is Sunday the 17th, and today is Wednesday, and it's still in the same area. So it's going to form as we head into the next couple of days, but it's just going to meander back and forth in the same area. And you'll see the newest trend right now for the GFS, or the American model, is sending it into Central America, and it doesn't really recover from that. Now, that's just the most recent updated model. A lot of the other past trends from the GFS were not like that. They were very similar to the European model, taking it towards the Yucatan Peninsula by about Monday, and then getting back into the Gulf of Mexico for Tuesday and making its way over towards Florida. So if we continue to see the trend with the American model, that it just makes its way into Central America and kind of fizzles out, that would be fantastic news, but that's just only one of the most recent models. So we have to continue following the trends we've been seeing the last couple of days, which is really what the European model has been showing, moving into central or southern Florida by about Wednesday of the upcoming week. But once we really get this system forming, we have the depression, we have the tropical storm, the models will have a better idea and understanding of where it'll actually go and how strong it'll actually be. A hurricane making landfall in Florida next Wednesday is certainly not out of the question. It depends on where it goes into the Gulf of Mexico. Does it go over the Yucatan and help weaken it a bit? Does it go in between Cuba and the Yucatan and doesn't hit any land at all, which will allow it to intensify even further? But also if it goes more up towards the northern portions of the Gulf of Mexico, it'll run into cooler waters that are in the upper 70s and also some even more wind shear, so that'll help weaken it a bit. But if it stays further down towards southern Florida, it could stay pretty strong as it makes its way towards the peninsula and then eventually off into the Atlantic heading into Thursday. So here's the next name on the list. We have Sarah. The last one was Rafael, which was a Category 3 storm. So this could possibly be the second hurricane for the 2024 season in November, which doesn't happen very often. After that, we have Tony, Valerie, and William. And of course, here we'll continue to keep you updated for the rest of the hurricane season, even though there's about 2 weeks left. But of course, over the coming days, we'll keep you updated with what's happening in the tropics.